We are MakilalaTV, the first Filipino-American TV talk show in the New York metro area. Get to know us as we talk to the community leaders, innovators, advocates, and emerging artists who affect Filipino-American life.
My name is Cristina Pastor, and I am joined here by my co-hosts, Jen Fuhrer and RACHELLE Ocampo of MakilalaTV. So tonight we're going to have a different kind of introduction of our special guest. We're going to introduce her the David Letterman way. The top 10 things.
You're doing a top 10.
The top 10 things you probably need to know about Congen Tess. Number 10. Did you know that Congen Tess is a lawyer? Oh, I like our audience.
But I can't practice in the US, okay? Just so you know.
Okay. She passed the bar in 2000. She took her law studies at Ateneo.
Wow.
Number 9. Did you know that Congen Tess speaks 5 languages?
She's counting. Yes.
Sample, she speaks Spanish, French, English, Kapampangan, and Tagalog. Can you
Say something?
yes, say hello in French and Kapampangan.
Bonsoir. No, bonsoir, bonsoir. It's evening already. En français. Bonsoir.
Kapampangan.
Kapampangan. Maya pabengi ke kongan. That's simply good evening to everyone. And what else? Buenas noches y bienvenidos al centro de Filipinas aquí en la ciudad de Nueva York.
We believe you know.
Magandang gabi. Magandang gabi. At ano ba? Ano sa English? Bisaya. Maayong gabi. Maayong gabi sa inyo. Naimbaga Arabic.
That's a
Tama na si Ilocano because I'm part Ilocano.
So that's 7 languages. Number 8. Did you know that Congen Tess is a fan of science fiction?
Wow.
Her favorite writer is Isaac Asimov. I like the reaction. Number 7. Did you know that Congen Tess is married to another diplomat?
Wow.
Yes, you know. He is the Philippine ambassador to Mexico, Eduardo Jose de Vega.
He speaks more languages.
Interesting. Number 6. Did you know that before Congen Tess became a diplomat, she was teaching at UP? She was teaching English and comparative literature.
Wow.
Yeah.
Teacher,
You want to be a teacher. Once a teacher, always a teacher.
Wow.
Number 5. Did you know that Congen Tess is a movie buff? And her favorite 5 of her favorite films are The Godfather Trilogy, Babette's Feast, Beasts of the Southern Wild, Black Swan, and Spotlight.
But that changes. That changes from time to time. And my current favorite Filipino film is, this is tough. 2. Classic. Ganito kami noon. Paano kayo ngayon? Which I recommend. I highly recommend. It's a great social political commentary of the Philippines, and also a contemporary love story, which may not be for everyone. Sana Dati by Gerald Taro, one of his earlier films, the director of General Luna, and a new film I saw at Cinemalaya 2016, a quiet, beautiful film called Cocina, starring Judy Ann Santos, which we hope we'll be able to bring to New York in the future. mention.
Theresa.
Number 4.
Kusina.
Kusina's in kitchen.
Kitchen. About a woman whose life revolves around cooking for her family, and it's wonderful social commentary on the role of women in Philippine society.
Number 4. Did you know that Conjen Tess was educated in 3 countries? The Philippines, Canada, and Hong Kong. In Canada, that's where she took her Master of Arts in English and Cultural Studies at the Queen's University of Ontario. And in Hong Kong, she got her graduate diploma in China Business from the University of Hong Kong. Of course, in the Philippines, she went to UP and Ateneo.
Equal protection clause. UP Ateneo. Private school, public school.
Number 3. Did you know that Conjen Tess placed first in the Foreign Service Officers Exam of 1994?
So now you know my age. Now you can calculate.
And this is a
That's what number?
number 2.
Number 2, okay.
Did you know what her favorite comfort food is? Menudo. Menudo. So if you're going to invite her to your home, be sure that menudo ready. And finally, number 1. Did you know that Conjen Tess is now going to make her opening remarks tonight? Welcome again, Conjen Tess.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Krian, Rachel, and of course Jen, and to the entire team behind MakilalaTV, a woman-powered platform for the community. It's a great honor, privilege, and a pleasure to be with these 3 ladies today, and to be with an audience of friends from the Filipino-American community, some of whom I know from way back, and some new faces. And also some friends from the American community. Thank you for coming. I hope we'll have a good session, exchanging thoughts, ideas, because it's very important. And I'd also like to welcome colleagues from the Consulate. Our Consul Bong Carino is here with us, familiar face in the community. An equally familiar face, Vice Consul Chris Corpus. Our cultural officer, very familiar face, also Olin over there in the back, and Mr. Wendell, everyone, and also some colleagues from the Philippine Center Management Board. But also thank you to all our friends who are here, and also to the viewers of Makilala from all over the world. I hope that you will find this session informative, not only for the people here in New York and within the U.S. Northeast, but in other parts of the country.
We'll have the first question from Jen.
I met Conjen 3 years ago when we did a book launch for Avistaris. So my question is about immigration. A lot of people are, the people that I talk to are kind of like scared. They don't know what to do. And some of them are even scared of stepping into the consulate. I remember when I didn't step into the consulate until like 3 years ago. And it was a mistake because if you don't have a visa and you get picked up and you don't have a passport, then the processing takes forever for you to get, when you're detained and everything like that. So what do you tell everybody who's here? How do you reach out to everybody, and what do they need to have so that just, in case something happens?
Well, thank you for that, Jen. The Philippine Consulate has always had a very open, inclusive policy for all Filipinos, for anyone who requires our assistance or help. That's the message that we've always been trying to send out to the public. I think my predecessor and my former boss, Consul General De Leon, has spoken on many occasions, and I've had the chance to re-echo this, and also our other colleagues in the consulate. If you're a Filipino, national here in the US or you're under the jurisdiction of this consulate, our doors are open. You can call us, you can come and visit us. Our main concern is you. We are guided by the laws and regulations of the Philippines in terms of issuing a Philippine passport. So they should not think twice. I know that there's always anxiousness and fear, especially if you're an undocumented person here in the US. But what we'd like to impart and what we'd like to convey to everyone out there is that if you need assistance or if you just need a question answered, or even if you don't know how to ask the question, please contact us. We have a website. There are contact numbers there. We run a 24/7 hotline. If they feel anxious about physically coming to us, then maybe they can give us a call or send us an email first, and we will do our best to respond immediately to them.
I just want to add to this. Maybe the experience with my brother, he didn't have a passport, so when he got picked up and detained, it took like a long time.
Yes.
It took like a month because we do the holidays and everything. So maybe everybody should have, if you know anyone, I guess you could tell everybody how important it is to have.
Yes, it's very important to have a Philippine passport, and the requirements are there. They're on our website, and if you feel a little nervous or scared, then tell us why. And normally, we handle this on a case-to-case basis, and we'll deal with it quietly if that's the best way to handle it.
Thank you.
Rochelle. Yes. So, Conjen.
Yes, Rochelle.
I remember meeting you for the first time in London.
Yes, that was 2012.
Yeah.
No, sorry, 2011, 2010.
Yeah. So we met there because you were. What was your position there?
I was Minister and Consul General.
Yes.
In the UK prior to coming to New York for my first tour of duty here in New York.
And when you were there, you actually introduced me to the whole Filipino community in terms of the younger generation, because they had like a one-day conference that was called One Filipino. And I just remember just your presence being so welcoming, and I wanted to see what are your plans, or what are the plans, sorry, let me just read it off. What are specific examples or projects that you'd like to propose or continue to increase engagement with the younger Filipino community, particularly empowering them to be part of the decision-making table?
Okay. There are actually a lot of good programs in place already, and our colleagues here from the consulate, Vice Consul Chris knows most of the programs. The pioneering program, of course, for the second generation throughout the US is the Filipino Youth Leadership Program, of which Rochelle was once a delegate. I think the second batch, if I'm not mistaken, of delegates. And I think the PhilPro, hopefully we will be able to continue with the most recent batch left. Most of them left over the weekend, and it will start this month in Manila. It's an immersion program for those of you who may not be familiar with it. We send 10 delegates from different parts of the US, second, third generation Filipino Americans who have a commitment to giving back to the Philippines, to trying to find a way to build synergy between the second and third generation, the next generation of Filipino Americans with the Philippines, either with institutions or with persons. So that's one thing we can continue. And I think now the PhilPro, after 4 or 5 years already, you've moved into legacy projects. So now we're seeing concrete projects coming out of that immersion program. On the tourism promotion side, we just launched, and we're going to pursue the next generation tour to reconnect and to both to introduce in some cases and also to reconnect in other cases the next generation of Filipino Americans with the Philippines, with the country of their fathers, their mothers, their grandparents, their aunts and uncles. their extended family in the Philippines. We would like to see more participation from the second generation on political advocacy, for example. As we move into a new administration, there are many advocacies where the next generation can be a potent force. One is political representation. We've always pushed that. And not just during the electoral process, but to encourage many of our Filipino-American community members from whatever generation, whatever age group, to be involved in school boards, zoning boards, in community organizing. We'd like to expand our Know Your Rights series of seminars here, and to really focus on things which all sectors of the community can work on together. Immigration issues that remains on the table, and economic promotion also.
So what advice would you have for the youth to come in and just propose an idea that they would be excited about? Not even just legacy project, but just an issue that...
If there's an issue, there's an idea, one or two people or a group of people, they can write us, send us and say, we have this idea. Is there something similar that's being undertaken? Or maybe we can, have some synergy between what they're thinking and what's already in place. Maybe to enhance what's already in place, or to inject fresh ideas, or just really new innovative ideas. Because there's the next generation, they're very involved in social entrepreneurship, for example, and there are many avenues, many platforms for that. So we'd like to encourage that. So if you have an idea, try to crystallize it in the best way that you can. If you really can't really, if you still are thinking about details, maybe we can help you flesh out the idea.
Kanjan, what are the first 3 things you do in the morning?
First 3 things I do in
Just
the
like
morning,
relate to...
aside from waking up, I say a prayer. 3 is not enough. I kiss my daughter even if she's asleep, if she sleeps beside me, my little girl. And then I check my 2 phones. One is my Manila phone for messages from Manila, and one is my New York phone.
In that order.
Yes. And then if nature calls, I have to go to the toilet.
So, did you want to...
Well, I guess in checking the phone, I was going to ask.
If I can't check my phone, then it's like I've lost my left and my right.
Okay, that's good, because it's the same way with me. Like, I look at my phone right away.
We multitask. We can't leave the phone.
Talking about multitasking, you have the young generation, and you have I'm like the sandwich generation. So I take care of the older ones and the kids, and then you have the elderly. Are there any programs that you're championing this year or in this term?
I've discussed this with some of my colleagues in the consulate. We'd like to look at something for the aging community, Filipino-American community here in the Northeast. We have some advocates. One of them is here, Connie Almonte. She's with us tonight. She's long been an advocate for seniors' rights. I've spoken to some members of the community also who would like to see something both on the conceptual side and also on the physical side. Like there are some ethnic minorities here in New York who've been given grants by the local government for senior centers, and maybe that's something that we can work on for our seniors here, and also some, just some very basic things like a visitation program for some of our seniors who may no longer have ties to friends or family here in the U.S. And who need a little care, a little attention, which they normally don't get. So we're trying to build a group of volunteers together for that, for the aging community. These are, it's one of the more vulnerable sectors because and they can't do the legwork themselves for their causes, for their advocacy. So we have to be that for them.
So do you expect the younger generation to be involved?
We'd like to get them involved. I know that some are already involved to some extent, but if we could have more heads and hands and hearts involved, that would be great.
Okay. I have a question going back to the Philippines. We have the rural areas. Are there any programs this new administration that through the consulate that we could all unite and figure out how to empower the rural communities?
I think in the coming months, as the new administration, the new government is able to finalize and to break down into greater detail. I don't know if everyone is aware, but it's available online. It's available. It's been published. There is a 10-point socio-economic agenda, which the administration of President Rodrigo Duterte has come up with. And one major portion of that 10-point socio-economic agenda includes rural development, connectivity particularly of rural communities to basic needs like water, power, roads, infrastructure. There's going to be a huge emphasis on agricultural modernization, agricultural developments, and also an investment in human capital development. Essentially, the 10-point socio-economic agenda adheres very closely to the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, the SDGs, which we are committed to securing for our country.
Rochelle?
So, as everyone knows, we are MakilalaTV, and Makilala means get to know.
Yes.
So, I
You
have...
have another 10.10.
Yeah, very
You have
similar.
another countdown.
Yes. It's basically...
This was not in the proposal.
No, we're sticking this in. We're sticking this in. So this is going to be a lightning round
Okay.
of questions. Okay. So you have 1 second to answer every one. Okay. For each question.
Boy, Abunda gives 5 seconds.
Okay. Ready. Best place that you've been assigned to.
Oh, all.
One. You're so diplomatic. Okay. Favorite go-to restaurant in New York City.
Oh.
Filipino or not Filipino?
That doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Filipino.
I just go to Smiler's next door.
Oh, convenient. I go to a restaurant. A deli.
I just get roasted mushrooms and vegetables. That's it. I'm fine. That gets me through the night, day to night.
How do you like your eggs?
Scrambled.
Favorite dessert?
Fruits. I'm so bored.
Can I ask one question? Yeah. Skip to that one. If you're stranded in an island, who would you want to be with?
My husband.
Aside from your
I was
husband.
gonna say, what about
My daughter.
Okay.
They're the only ones who can tolerate me.
Biggest pet peeve?
Oh, Filipino time.
I agree, I totally agree.
Yes, we will try our best to fix that for you. And lastly, calamansi juice or mango juice?
Calamansi.
Wow. Okay.
I like citrusy, lemony flavors. Mango's too sweet for me. I love mango, but it's a bit too sweet.
Mango the fruit is nice.
Mango the fruit is
Yeah.
nice.
Hey, thanks so much, ladies. Before we turn on the invite questions from the audience, I have one final question for Conjen. I'm not sure if you're the person to ask about this, but it's something that's been weighing on my mind. If there is a critical article that appears in an American paper against the Philippine government, what is the obligation of Philippine missions? Are they supposed to defend him? Or
Well, to clarify, if something needs to be clarified.
okay, yeah. All right. So tonight we are now opening questions from the audience. There will be a mic that will be passed around, and we would like to limit the audience to one question plus one opportunity for follow-up. Introduce yourself very briefly, and please, let's try to be courteous and respectful, even if we disagree with the questions that are being asked, or whatever opinion is being expressed. Let's start with whoever.
And also just keep in mind, since we want to make sure that everyone's voice is heard, to minimize the speeches to 1 minute, so that we can have everyone have the opportunity to speak and share.